It's official. Erika Girardi refuses to return for season 16. The Beverly Hills Diamond has just been completely shattered. In an absolute blockbuster exclusive, insider sources confirm Erika has handed in her diamond, walked away for good, and left Bravo in total, unmitigated panic. But the real nightmare is happening off camera. Erika is heading straight to a public federal trial over a massive $18 million fashion lawsuit brought by designer Christopher Psylla. We are talking about jaw-dropping allegations of credit card fraud, a ruined business, and a conspiracy to weaponize the U.S.'s Secret Service. Tonight, we are breaking down her explosive, newly filed defense strategy, how she's blaming Tom Girardi, and the exact moment the Pretty Mess empire came crashing down. The news comes as a devastating blow to network executives who are reportedly in a state of absolute, unmitigated panic. For the past decade, Erika Jayne has been the undisputed lightning rod of the franchise. From her high-glam pop star persona to her ice-cold reunion defenses, love her or hate her, Erika drove the ratings. With filming for season 15 wrapping amidst toxic cast divides, sources close to production reveal that Girardi simply refused to sign on for another year of public execution. Behind the closed doors of the network's headquarters, emergency casting meetings are currently underway. The loss of Erika Girardi is not just a minor casting shakeup, it is a structural collapse for RHOBH. Production insiders report that producers are scrambling, realizing that the primary engine of conflict for the series has vanished overnight. For seasons, the entire show revolved around the juxtaposition of Erika's legal woes against the backdrop of Beverly Hills luxury. With her departure, a massive vacuum has been created, one that network executives are terrified they cannot fill. The real reason behind the exit, inside the toxic season 15 cast divides. While the public narrative will focus heavily on her legal battles, the immediate catalyst for Erika's abrupt exit lies in the toxic environment that brewed during the filming of season 15. For years, Erika managed to maintain a fragile alliance with certain key cast members, most notably Dorrit Kemsley and Kyle Richards. However, during the latest stretch of filming, those alliances did not just fracture, they completely disintegrated. Sources close to the cast reveal that the upcoming season features an explosive, multi-episode showdown between Erika and Dorrit Kemsley. The feud reportedly pushed Erika to her absolute limit, as long-held secrets and financial comparisons were weaponized on camera. Erika, who has spent years defending her character and her lack of knowledge regarding her ex-husband Tom Girardi's historic legal fraud, reportedly felt completely betrayed by women she considered real-world friends. Furthermore, the departure of other heavy hitters from the franchise left Erika feeling deeply isolated. With fewer allies willing to deflect the heat, Erika found herself squarely in the crosshairs of cast members, eager to secure their own positions on the show by bringing her down. The constant interrogation regarding her personal life, her finances, and her ongoing court battles transformed the show from a lucrative platform into an unbearable liability. According to insiders, Erika realized that continuing on the show would mean exposing her legal defense strategy to the public eye, a risk she could no longer afford to take. The $18.2 million Marco lawsuit exposed: credit cards, costumes, and conspiracy. While her exit from reality television is a massive pop culture moment, the real story is what is happening away from the Bravo cameras. Behind the scenes, Erika is currently embroiled in what legal experts are calling her most dangerous legal battle yet, a massive $18.2 million federal lawsuit that threatens to completely dismantle whatever remains of her lifestyle. The lawsuit, filed by Hollywood costume merchant Christopher Psylla of the iconic design brand Marco, accuses Erika and her disgraced, disbarred ex-husband, Tom Girardi, of orchestrating a chilling conspiracy. According to federal court documents, Psylla alleges that Erika falsely claimed more than $800,000 in fraudulent charges on her American Express card for costumes she wore during her stage shows. Costumes Psylla proves he actually designed, constructed, and delivered. According to Psylla's complaint, Erika gave him full permission to charge her card for the elaborate, hyper-custom costumes required for her Erika Jayne music videos and live performances from 2014 to 2016. However, the lawsuit alleges that because Erika, Tom Girardi, and his powerhouse law firm Girardi Keys were beginning to experience severe financial woes toward the end of 2016, they concocted a scheme to claw claw back the money by claiming the designer had defrauded them. By declaring the legitimate charges as fraudulent, Erika successfully secured a massive $787,117.88 refund directly from American Express. But the plan did not stop at a simple credit card dispute. To ensure American Express would not investigate her or reverse the refund, the Girardis allegedly decided to destroy Christopher Pizzella entirely, weaponizing the U.S. Secret Service, the anatomy of an alleged bribery scheme. The allegations in the lawsuit transition from standard reality TV drama into a terrifying abuse of institutional power. The lawsuit claims that Tom and Erika Girardi actively weaponized the United States Secret Service, utilizing Tom's immense political influence to corrupt the federal justice system. The suit names Lorenzo Robert Savage III, the former head of the Secret Service's Los Angeles division, as a key co-conspirator. Sayla alleges that Tom Girardi effectively bribed Savage to bypass standard law enforcement protocols and initiate a completely baseless federal criminal investigation into the fashion designer. Court documents highlight a specific $7,500 payment made by Tom Girardi directly to Savage under the guise of an unrelated legal matter, which the lawsuit suggests was a direct kickback for law enforcement intervention, the alleged mechanism of malicious prosecution. The conduct we allege in our complaint goes to the heart of the integrity of the criminal justice system. We believe that if the truth of the relationship between Tom Girardi and Savage had been known to the prosecutors, the criminal case against Christopher Pizzella would have never been brought. David S. McLean, attorney for Christopher Pizzella. Driven by the fabricated statements and altered timelines allegedly provided by Erika and her assistants, federal agents raided Marco, seized assets, and successfully secured a federal grand jury indictment against Pizzella for wire fraud and identity theft. For 5 grueling years, Sayla lived under the shadow of a federal indictment, facing decades in federal prison for crimes he maintained he never committed. It wasn't until September 2021, after independent prosecutors realized the sheer lack of evidence and the questionable origin of the investigation, that the federal government quietly dropped all criminal charges against Pizzella. The human toll, Christopher Sayla's ruined business and shattered adoption dreams. While the headlines focus heavily on the multi-million-dollar figures, the community backlash against Erika Jayne has intensified because of the devastating human toll of the alleged conspiracy. Christopher Pizzella was not just a luxury vendor, he was a staple of the Los Angeles and LGBTQ+ fashion community, responsible for some of the most iconic runway shows in West Hollywood. The federal indictment completely ruined his business. Wholesale accounts vanished. High-profile celebrity clients fled to avoid association with an alleged federal fraudster, and the Marco brand was pushed to the absolute brink of extinction. Sayla and his business partner were forced to expend their life savings on high-powered criminal defense attorneys just to avoid prison, completely wiping out their financial security. Even more heartbreaking to fans and community advocates is the deeply personal loss suffered by the designer. At the time of the sudden federal indictment, Sayla and his husband were actively in the final stages of a lengthy, rigorous adoption process to start a family. Because of the active federal criminal charges looming over his head, adoption agencies immediately froze their application, completely shattering their dreams of bringing a child home. The sudden loss of their adoption placement, a direct consequence of what the lawsuit describes as Erika's greed and manipulation, has solidified her status as a genuine villain in the eyes of a large portion of the Bravo audience. The courtroom defeats. Why Erika's legal shields have totally collapsed. For the past several years, Erika Jayne's public defense strategy on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and at fan conventions has been clear. I have been investigated thoroughly by the feds. They didn't pursue criminal charges against me, and I have won or settled the civil claims. She routinely projected an air of absolute legal invincibility. However, that defense strategy has officially collapsed under the weight of the Marco civil proceedings. Erika's legal team attempted to deploy a powerful defensive maneuver known as an anti-SLAPP motion, strategic lawsuit against public participation. This legal mechanism is designed to quickly dismiss lawsuits that lack merit and threaten a person's right to free speech. If Erika had won the anti-SLAPP motion, Sayla's case would have been thrown out entirely, and he would have been forced to pay her legal fees. In a catastrophic legal turn of events for Erika, the court strictly denied her anti-SLAPP motion. Her legal team immediately filed an appeal, but the appellate court upheld the lower court's ruling. Losing a SLAPP appeal means the protective legal shields are completely gone. The lawsuit cannot be dismissed early. It is officially moving forward into the brutal, unrestricted discovery phase. Erika is now legally obligated to turn over text messages, financial records, emails, and personal communications from the peak of her reality TV fame. Furthermore, she faces the terrifying prospect of sitting for an intense, under-oath deposition where Christopher Pizzala's attorneys can dissect her every word ahead of a public federal trial. Financial ruin, the bankruptcy trustees, and the $25 million settlement fallout. To understand the full scope of Erika's financial panic, one must look at how the Marco lawsuit intersects with the wider collapse of the Girardi empire. For years, bankruptcy trustees handling the liquidation of Girardi Keys have been hunting down tens of millions of dollars that Tom Girardi allegedly siphoned away from his victims, including orphan and widow clients from the Lion Air Flight 610 crash, to fund Erika's lavish lifestyle and her pop star alter ego, Erika Jayne. Trustees proved in court that at least $25 million was funneled directly from the law firm's client trust accounts into Erika's personal corporate entity, EJ Global LLC, to pay for her $40,000 a month glam squad, backup dancers, private travel, and wardrobe. While Erika fought fiercely for years to keep the money, claiming she was a completely oblivious spouse who simply signed the tax returns her husband put in front of her, the legal walls finally closed in. Facing a high-stakes trial brought by the bankruptcy trustees that would have publicly laid bare every single cent she spent, Erika's legal team quietly executed a major settlement agreement. While the settlement kept her out of a bankruptcy courtroom, it effectively wiped out her liquid net worth. The historic diamond earrings gifted to her by Tom, valued at $750,000, were seized and auctioned off to the highest bidder. With her liquid assets depleted by the settlement and her primary source of the steady income, her massive Bravo salary now completely gone, Erika enters the $18.2 million Marco lawsuit with virtually no financial cushion left to sustain a lengthy, high-priced federal defense. Bravo in chaos, the casualty of season 16 and the future of Beverly Hills. The ripple effects of Erika Girardi's resignation have completely thrown Bravo's long-term production schedule into absolute disarray. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has long been the crown jewel of the entire Real Housewives international mega franchise, routinely drawing the highest ratings and attracting the most affluent demographic for advertisers. With production finishing on a highly contentious season 15, the network was banking on Erika's ongoing legal drama and her shifting cast dynamics to carry the narrative momentum straight into season 16. Erika's exit creates a massive casting crisis. Her departure comes hot on the heels of rumors that other major veteran cast members are looking for an exit or demand massive, unsustainable salary increases to continue exposing their personal lives to public scrutiny. Bravo is now left with a deeply fractured cast consisting primarily of newer housewives who have yet to establish the deep, decade-long psychological warfare that fans tuning into Beverly Hills expect. The network is reportedly considering an unprecedented, hard reboot of the entire Beverly Hills franchise, mirroring the drastic steps taken with the Real Housewives of New York City a few seasons prior. However, internal data suggests that audiences are deeply fatigued by entirely new casts, and executives are terrified a reboot could permanently kill the ratings. As the legal drama surrounding the Girardi name shifts entirely into federal courthouses, Bravo faces a stark new reality. The golden era of Beverly Hills luxury and consequence-free reality TV drama is officially dead. The pretty mess has left the building and the fallout is only just beginning. Erika Jayne revealed new insight into her dynamic with the RHOBH group after season 15 backstage at the reunion. As viewers know by now, Erika Jayne has her own unique eye for style. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast members' fashionable flair includes bold looks wherever she is, from the stage to the red carpet to girls' trips around the world. And if she wanted someone else's POV on style, she knows who she'd turn to in the group for some advice. She opened up about this very topic and shed light on the dynamics with the group when BravoTV.com caught up with her backstage at the RHOBH Season 15 reunion taping back in March. There are a lot of women in the group that I would go to for fashion advice. I think obviously Rachel's an obvious choice. You know, Dorit has good style. I like all of our styles, actually. I have good style. Boz certainly has her own signature thing. And I think that that's what's cool, she said. You know, every lady in the group, every woman in the group has their own identity. Erika has become synonymous with iconic confessional looks. And of course, that was no different for her in season 15. So, did she have a favorite? She noted that the most fun look was the look we ended with the straight hair and the black corset. But I think, truly, the most fun was the orange and blue latex with the hat. That was just super character over the top. She also shared details on her RHOBH season 15 reunion look backstage at the taping. She noted that she was really thrilled about her sexy and pretty lace gown that gave off gothic pop star vibes. My go-to recipe always starts with having a custom dress made to fit my body perfectly, because when the silhouette is tailored exactly right, everything else falls into place, she continued via email. From there, we built a beauty direction that felt elevated yet effortless, leaning into a slightly runway editorial energy with hair that was polished but soft so it moved naturally and never felt overworked. The makeup followed the same philosophy, with dreamy, diffused eye tones that create softness, balanced by my signature high-shine, glossy Erika Jayne lip that keeps the whole look modern and unmistakably me, she added. You can hear more from Erika about her looks and glam by checking out the video at the top of the post. Erika Jayne opens up about her glam process. Erika does glam for many reasons. Whether it be for a splashy red carpet appearance, to attend an event and hang with the RHOBH ladies, or when she performs. And it's that last reason that's caused Erika to partake in glam at some unusual times. You know, it's whenever necessary. So I used to perform very late at night, so, 12 o'clock, like 1, she said. Or if you're getting on an early flight, you may have to do it 3, 4 in the morning. Just depends on what you're doing, you know? What's next for Erika Jayne after RHOBH season 15? Erika remains booked and busy this summer. She'll be touring around the world in her latest chapter in her music career as a DJ and party host. You can find Erika on tour with Kesha on the Pop Singers Freedom Tour. Erika will also be making appearances at other events throughout the summer in the UK and beyond.